So one thing I love to do is practice for a deeper league than you're actually going to be drafting in. I love to do 20 team leagues. I think it's fun. It's great to work on your deep knowledge of the deep sleepers and who's new this year and who other guys are going to miss. If you're doing a 10 team league, maybe practice with 12 team drafts, etc. But I just love 20 team drafts in general. So we're doing it. Screw it. We're doing a 20 team draft today. We're going to do full PPR. I always like full PPR if you're going to do 20 teams because that's crazy. But let's randomize it here on FantasyPros, the draft wizard. The 19th pick out of 20. The worst draft pick I think we could possibly get. So screw it, let's do it. And we're going to have some fun here. But yeah, 20 team leagues. It can be a lot of fun. I won my first one I was ever in. And actually, in that league in 2018, I had what is to this day my favorite draft pick I've ever made. And that was at 296th overall. I got Philip Lindsay in 2018, who of course had a great year, and that was my favorite pick ever. But let's go to the board. It's going to be tough to even follow this, I think, here. So let's see what's going on. But okay, well, I don't need to review everyone and see what they got, but all right, here we are. Now I always say draft your running backs, and wow, both tight ends there, both quarterbacks there. Now the thing is when you're drafting, getting an elite quarterback or an elite tight end is generally more important the smaller the league is. So let's say you're doing an 8-team draft. Then you're going to want to really get that Lamar Jackson or that Travis Kelce so that they really stand out, because otherwise everyone's going to have a pretty good tight end and a pretty good quarterback there. But, so in 20-team leagues, it becomes really, in theory, less important to get one of the elite guys. So I'm definitely going to go for running back here. And let's just go with Nick Chubb because he's a stud if nothing else. Okay, and then they go Josh Jacobs, Travis Kelce. Man, this is this, and see, right, we're in round 2 and it's tough. So, boy, we got Mahomes and Jackson, and we've got George Kittle. Man, this is just this is why this is a lot of fun. Wide receivers, gotta love Galladay. If there was just one more stud here, like if we still had Josh Jacobs or Kenyon Drake or Eckler, I'd be happy to go with them here. Edwards-Helaire is just a bit too much of a reach in the second round, so I don't think we can afford that. So as much as in theory you shouldn't worry about the elite guys as much, I've got to go with Lamar. I mean, he averaged 8 points more than anyone else, and I'll take any edge we can get here. And you know what? Then it'll actually make it even more challenging to get those deep, deep, deep sleepers for running backs late in the draft. So let's really challenge ourselves here. Okay, so now if we go look at wide receivers, and wide receivers already getting thin. Oh, this is going to be fun. Tight ends. Yeah, there's some fun stuff there. We got a quarterback already. You know what? We need to get some quarterbacks. Sorry, we need to get some running backs before they're all gone. Now, in regular leagues, like a 10 or 12 team, I love to have Kareem Hunt as the best handcuff in the league behind Nick Chubb. And we do have Nick Chubb, but I don't think we can afford to double up like this here. We need someone who is going to be able to start on the same week as Nick Chubb is most of the time. And I like Devin Singletary here. Everyone's getting all bent out of shape about Zach Moss, but I mean, Zach Moss needs to prove something to me before I get too excited. Raheem Mostert, boy, that's a risky pick. People are going to regret that one, I think, here. We've still got Cam Akers here, who I think is going below his value. And you can always get wide receivers later. And we can wait a bit on tight ends. There's some later tight ends that I like a lot. So you know what? Let's get Cam Akers here. So, you know, we get out of the first 4 rounds with 3 solid running backs, all starters, Nick Chubb, Devin Singletary, and Cam Akers, along with the best quarterback in fantasy, at least, Lamar Jackson. That's a great start, I have to say. I'm very happy. If this was a real league, I'd be really, really happy with that. Okay, now we do need a wide receiver at some point here, and it's already getting a little bit thin here. So, boy, Darius Slayton. It's really hard to know who's going to be the man in the Giants offense there. Golden Tate's 32. He's more of the slot guy. He's reliable, but he's not going to be the big star. Sterling Shepard, you know what? I think he was kind of the starter by default. I'm going to say Darius Slayton, who helped me win some leagues last year down the stretch. I'm going to say Darius Slayton is going to become the alpha in that offense here. So let's take him. All right. He took Sanders and Judy, two guys I was considering. I like Lamb, but I like Judy better. Lamb's got a lot of competition there. I think we have to wait for even some more deep guys. There's some guys I really like down there at receiver. Running back. Now keep in mind this is full PPR, and because this is full PPR, I like Tariq Cohen. He is just a beast when it comes to a full PPR league. So the nice thing about full PPR is you can take guys like James White or Tariq Cohen and feel pretty good about them. All right, I know who I'm taking next year. It's the 7th round of a 20-team league. Alexander Mattison. Between the holdout threat of Dalvin Cook and Dalvin Cook's injury history, Alexander Mattison is just a beautiful pick here in the 7th round of a 20-team league. I love that. Okay, so we've got our great quarterback. All of a sudden, we've got 5 running backs, and I think you'll see some of these are pretty thin when it comes to running backs. So I'm liking being us here for sure. All right, let's see what else is available here. Boy, you know what? I like Renfro and Paris Campbell a fair bit this year. So yeah, I think we need to start getting some wide receivers. Even though I generally say wide receivers grow on trees, at some point you have to get some before they're all completely ridiculously gone. So let's go with Hunter Renfro here, who really closed out the year strong and is going to be the slot receiver in a very interesting offense this year. Okay, so we've got 2 wide receivers, 5 running backs. I'm pretty happy with that. And Lamar. Okay, but you can see why maybe instead of Lamar, we take Travis Kelce, why we take George Kittle there potentially, or just another running back or wide receiver. Edwards-Helaire, man, I don't think I can trust him as an RB2 yet. I don't think we've seen enough on how he'll be used there. Okay, just glance at the running backs. Nothing too exciting there. How about the tight ends? Where are we at here? Wow, see, now this is interesting. We're really getting low on the tight ends. There's some really good late tight ends you can take, like even Dallas Goedert, who even as a second stringer seems to put up good numbers. I like Hayden Hurst late. Austin Hooper's going really late. But now we're getting into the really thin part. I think we need to go with Irv Smith Jr. here, who I do like in Minnesota. I think he can be the next Kyle Rudolph, because Rudolph is pretty much done, I think, here. So let's go with him to get a tight end. And then let's see who we've got. Running back. Oh, Booger's Kid. Booger's Kid could be the starter by the end of the year in Pittsburgh, and they really promote their running backs there, as Le'Veon Bell has realized way too late. So let's go with Booger's Kid. And, to this day, I still can't believe that ESPN allowed people to fucking call him Booger. I mean, seriously, like, how is that possible? I mean, I would call him Anthony. Fire me if you don't like it. Like, his name's Anthony. I'm calling him Anthony. He wants to be called Tony? Fine, I'll call him Tony. Don't call him Booger. That's just disgusting and stupid. I can't believe it. All right, so now we're going for real running back values, or I guess we only have 2 wide receivers too. Oh God, I hate Devin Funchess. Holy man, that's getting rough down there too. Okay, now there's a chance that Rex Burkhead becomes a big player in that offense here. They're going to be dumping off the ball to James White and Rex Burkhead. Sony Michel sucks. Jerick McKinnon could get play for all we know here, but I'm going to take Rex Burkhead actually in the 11th round of a 20-team draft here. All right, and now, yeah, we really need to get serious about some wide receivers, I think, here. Some of these guys are just brutal. Josh Reynolds puts up numbers once in a while. There's no Brandon Cooks there. They did draft that Van Jefferson. Miles Boykin. That is an interesting pick there, actually. I'm going to go with Miles Boykin. He wasn't as, favored as Mark Andrews or Hollywood for Lamar, but he did seem to like Boykin a fair bit, and that's a fun offense. So, we got the stack there, and Lamar is a better pocket passer than people give him credit for. So, okay, where are we at here? So, this is the end of the 13th round, And our last 2 picks of the 16 round draft are going to be defense and kicker. So we really only need to find 2 more guys, because I generally just go with the 1 tight end and the 1 quarterback. Now, of course, Irv Smith is not anything to get too excited about. Will Dissly did really well last year, but now you've got Greg Olsen coming there for some reason that no one can figure out. And then Hollister was good there too. I don't get the whole Seattle situation there. So let's go with a flex play here. Or actually, let's glance at the quarterbacks. Burrow and Rivers and Minshew still there. Darn, oh man, there's still lots of decent quarterbacks there. I guess we should take one in a 20-team league. You know what? Screw it. Let's go with Joe Burrow. I mean, if he is elite, then that's pretty cool too. So let's get Burrow. So we got Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. Gotta love that. And now let's go. No one there too exciting. I really want to know who the backup is for Gurley in Atlanta. Is it Brian Hill? Is it Olesen? Is it the other guy that I'm forgetting right now? Who's the other guy there? Whatever. Anyway, it's going to be one of them, and I don't know which one. So that's lots of fun. Wide receiver here. Boy. I'm going to take a shot with... There's a couple interesting ones here. Let's go with KJ Hamler, who should be the slot receiver for Drew Lock. That could be a sneaky good pick right there. Okay, so I wouldn't mind if our wide receivers are a little better. I'm pretty happy with our running backs overall. I'm very happy with our quarterbacks. Tight end, admittedly weak. So 20-team leagues, if you're actually going to be in a 20-team league, you really need to practice even more than the other ones and really have a strategy going in. But let's see, we ended up with 3, 5, we ended up with 7 running backs, and that's going to be a huge edge right there because really the first 3 are legitimate starters. Tariq Cohen is absolutely a starter in a full PPR league like this one. Rex Burkhead's a great shot there. McFarland could become the starter by the end of the year. So running backs and quarterbacks, I absolutely love what we did. Tight end and wide receiver, admittedly, fairly weak. Okay, and then for the last ones here, let's grab a kicker. And most of them are still available. Yeah, we'll just take Will Lutz. And for a defense, I just stream my defenses. So this year I really like the Colts a lot, but they're actually off the board somehow. So we'll just take the Titans against a suspect Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos in week 1. And I'd love to know the algorithm that tells what the grade is for a 20-team draft here. Let's see what we got. We got an A+ somehow. I don't know how they calculated that. Even I don't think we deserved an A+ for that, but I appreciate FantasyPros thinking that we do. So anyway, that's a 20-team full PPR draft. If you've never done one, screw around with it. It's a lot of fun. And if you can be in an actual one, even if it's a free ESPN league, you can do 20-team drafts on there. Just do it just to add to your repertoire. Most fantasy players would get down to, the 12th, 13th, 14th round and not even know a lot of the guys. So it's really good practice. If you see guys down here, you get in situations, look them up and see what's going on with them. Try and get some real deep knowledge for some late picks you can make. But as you can see, in 20-team drafts even, you can get quarterbacks really late. So if you're not in a super flex league, if you're in a 1-quarterback league, which is still the most popular option, wait till the end to get your quarterbacks unless you're going all in on a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes. All right, that's it. 20 teams. Have fun. See ya.